Hello Udemy, I am Shazad. I'm from Shikzi.com and welcome in lecture number 4. Today's we are going to talk about the built-in libraries, the coding igniter built-in libraries and the built-in helpers. Okay, so now go to your codeigniter.com. Okay, refresh the page or suppose just a second. Codeigniter. Okay, go documentation, read the documentation. You can see they have libraries, helpers and database references. That means so you can find the documentation related with Codeigniter here. So go to your libraries. Codeigniter providing the built-in libraries. Okay, so I'm going to explain these libraries. So make sure I'm going to First of all, I'm going to explain those libraries which is necessary or required for this course. For suppose FTP is not required in this course because FTP is advanced concepts. Okay, so I'm going to explain with calendar class. So first of all, whenever I say the library or whenever I say class, these are the two same things. These are the same things whenever I say class or whenever I say library. So you can see in the libraries sections they are saying the calendar library. So here the library, you can see they are saying how can you load your live calendar, how can you generate the calendar, how can you add the links. Don't worry, I'm going to explain each and everything. So I'm just talking about the libraries. So why we are reviewing the library? Because so you don't need to create the calendar system from the scratch. Okay, so when I use these libraries, you can realize you can save a lot of time using these libraries. For suppose if you are creating an e-commerce system in Codeigniter, then if you are working on PHP 5 or PHP 4, that means you are creating the card system from the scratch. So you don't need to create the card system from the scratch. They are providing the card functionality using this library or this class. You can see you can add the product using this method, insert. Okay, you can also this is insert. You can add multiple item like this by calling a single method. Okay, so you can see here is a example they are saying, and you can also updating the cart and class references, products, items, everything related with e-commerce. You can use the e-commerce, or you can when you want to create the e-commerce website or web application, so you can use this library. Okay, which is the shopping cart like class. Okay, then you have a encrypt class and encryptions library. Okay, they are using the encrypt class. They are using different types of algorithms to encrypt your data. Okay, so before working on encryption or encrypt class, you have to provide your encryptions key. So where is the encryptions key? So you can see they are saying to save your key to your application config and config.php. So go to your application config folder, config.php, and find key. So you can see you can place your key here. Okay, so that's why they are saying. Okay, so go to your encryptions library. Make sure encrypted class and encryption library, these are the different things. So you can see you can load the library. And why I am saying the load the library? Because before accessing any library or any helper, you have to load that library or that helper before using. So this is the main concept, or you can say in simple word, this is the rule. Before accessing any view, you have to load that view. Before accessing any library, you have to load that library. Before accessing any model, you have to load first model, then you can call that model. Okay, so you can see they have a lot of documentation here. Don't worry, I will cover from here, and also encryption class. So in the file uploading, you can upload your files like images, like videos, using this library or this class. So you don't need to create each and everything from the scratch. How can you upload your library? You can see, you can pass the configurations, and then you can you can load the library. You can use a simple method to upload your library. So this is the concise code of your coding editor. Make sure whenever you want you are working on a framework, so it's the beauty of framework that everything is available. What you need, you just need to call that things which is required for your product. Okay, they have a lot of documentation also here. Don't worry, I'm going to explain in my later lectures the file uploading. You can validate your forms at the back end by using the form validations, and you can use the image manipulation. You can, whenever you want to crop your image, whenever you want to resize your image, you can use the image manipulation library. Okay, this is the important thing. The input class is very necessary, or the basic or the fundamental in coding editor. For suppose if you are accepting the post method, get method, cookie, server, you can call the input class or input library. So they are saying the input class serves two purposes. First of all, the class is initialized automatically by the system, so there is no need to do it manually. So before accessing the input class, you don't need to load the input class. Make sure. So okay, this is your migration. So leave it. So this is your pagination. So what are the pagination? For suppose if you have millions of records, so definitely you cannot show all the records on a single page. So that's why you divide your pages. You divide your pages like this. I'm saying shakesy.com. So courses, in the courses sections you can see I have many courses, and now I have a pagination. When I click the second page, you can see I am showing the 20 records in this page. Okay, so this is the paginations. So don't worry, I'm going to explain the pagination. And we are using, or we are going to use the session library as well. We use the HTML library, so trackback is not required. We use the typography and the zip encoding. Okay, so the required libraries, the necessary libraries are session library, first of all, pagination, and then your input class, form validation, uploading, encryption classes, and then your shopping cart classes. These are the required or necessary libraries. I'm going to cover these libraries in this course, so because this is the fast track series, so that's why. So now go to your helper sections. You can see coding editor providing a lot of helpers. For suppose if you are working on the arrays, or if you are working on arrays, you can use the array helpers. You can, they are saying what are helpers. So read the documentation also if you want to read. For suppose helpers, okay, now I am telling you helpers provide you some functions. Make sure I'm not talking about methods, I'm talking about functions. So every helper helps you to call a function by loading that helper. For suppose if you are loading a helper, that means you are going to call any available functions related with this helper. For suppose this is the associative array. Make sure you have to familiar with this associative array. Okay, you can see if you are using the element after the loading this array, so it's, and you are passing the array here, and now you are saying, oh, please give me the color. So it's returning your red because the key is color, the value is red, and you are saying in this array please find this key. So that's why it's saying. So a lot of functions available here. So helpers, so we are going to cover array helper first of all, captcha helper, cookie, date helper, I think, download helper, so file helper, and of course form helper. This is the form helper, it's required, and number helpers, security helpers, string helpers, text, typography, URL helpers, and XML helpers. So we are going to cover all these helpers. I think I'm not going to cover some helpers like smileys helpers and some other helpers, but we are going to cover each and everything for now. Okay, so now you are familiar with libraries, you are familiar with helpers. Head the database references. Okay, so CodingNighter comes with a full featured and very fast abstracted database class that support both traditional structure and query builder patterns. So make sure this is about patterns. If you are not familiar with patterns, just ignore this. For suppose whenever you want to insert something inside your database by using PHP 5, then you have your, for suppose you have two variables, email and password. Definitely you create the query first of all, for suppose select static from users where email equals to this email and password equals to this password. So you always do that, and then what you need to, so this is your query, you are saving that query in a variable, then you use a method to execute this query, and like this. So in CodingNighter you can make it simple. How can? I'm saying this by calling a library which is database library. I'm saying this db, now I'm saying select what I need. I'm saying, okay, now I'm saying select where it takes two parameter. I'm just telling you, and it takes the associative array. For suppose if you have a associative array, email, and here is your email, and your password here. So this is your password. You just need to pass this here, the table name here. Okay, so that's it. Why you are seeing this DB? Because before using any library you have to load that library. In this time I'm saying this load library. Which library? I'm saying DB. So don't worry, I'm going to explain how can you load your libraries, how can you load your views, how can you load your model in my later lectures. For now you are familiar with helpers, you are familiar with libraries, and you are familiar with database references. In the database references we have a lot of things. First was query builder. Okay. So this is the query builder. Get where, don't worry, I'm going to explain each and everything from the query builder also. And I think this is enough for today. Thank you for watching.